I'm Sashka, and I'm a Serbian girl who's been living in Japan for over a year now. And before that, I used to be a fervent visitor of Sakurabana and a cosplayer and otaku and, you know, things that go along with it. Shu, how about you?
Hi guys, my name is Shu and I'm just her assistant.
My fiance.
I am 100% pure Japanese guy and I love bacon.
Did you get the pun? No? Yeah. So we'll tell you about a few different things, so if you don't want to listen to something, you know, just skip. So number one?
First, we're gonna talk about how to find a job in Japan.
Mm-hmm. And then I'll tell you about the differences between life in Serbia and life in Japan.
And finally, I'll tell you some tips about living in Japan and making friends.
So, topic number one, finding a job in Japan. I will tell you how to find it from overseas. And Shu.
And I will tell you how to find a job in Japan.
Which is actually easier option, maybe.
Yeah, it's easier option.
So there are a few steps, and it's kind of a long story, so I'll do my best to make it shorter. So step one, here, I don't know. Step one is decide what job you want, obviously. The most available job is English teaching in private language schools. However, you know, if you really don't want to be a teacher, you don't have to do it. You can find other jobs too, especially if you can speak Japanese. If your level is higher, you can definitely find a lot of jobs. Then step two, where to find them. I would say visit job finding websites. The most popular one is Gaijin Pot.
Gaijin Pot.
Gaijin Pot, yeah. And then finding jobs in Japan is a good one too. And honestly, the most obvious one is LinkedIn. Surprisingly, that's how I found my first job. So find the jobs you like. Step number three, you know, once you find the jobs you like, try to apply. And I say, don't apply from those websites, but if possible, go to the company's own website, right? That's a better option, isn't it?
Yeah, I think that's the best option.
Because, yeah, there are just so many people applying using Gaijin Pod and so on. It's better to do it from the company's website. And then what you should do is write a very good CV and a killer cover letter. How to do it? Well, check what the company wants on their website. They usually give you hints about what kind of a worker they're looking for, so use that. And then be ready to apply for a lot of jobs, like 50, 100, it's normal. Yeah, it's fine if you fail all of them. I failed a lot, and eventually you're gonna get the job that's gonna get you here. And then once you go through the interview, get the job, thank you so much. We can make paper planes out of them. No wasting paper. Yeah, the last step, I believe, is getting the visa. Now, make sure that your employer does not tell you, come to Japan, then we'll get you the visa. Don't go down that road, it's a hard one. It's possible, but it's not a good one, is it? Yeah. Anyways, your employer should provide you with something called Certificate of Employment, whatever job you're going for. And once they get that, they will send it to Serbia. With that and with the necessary documentation, you will go to the Japanese embassy in Belgrade and submit it, and you will get your work visa while still in Serbia. Then with that, you will finally come here. Yeah. That was so sucky, sorry. And the visa talk is really long. There are many different types of visa, and depending on the job you want, I'm just gonna skip it. Like, your employer should provide you with the information. Finally, once you get your visa, you come here, and yeah. Sorry, one more thing. This is a long process. Actually, getting the certificate of eligibility and the visa can be 3 to 4 months long. So make sure you search for the job really, really in advance. Yeah.
Okay, and the best way to find a job in Japan is first attend or apply to a Japanese language school. And first you come here as a student visa. Yeah. And
what's the stay for how long is it, the student visa?
It's maximum 2 years.
Oh,
Yeah, and you can find anywhere in Japan, like every prefecture has a Japanese language school, so you can pick one.
Oh, that's cool. Do you need to know Japanese before like coming to a language school? Can your level be 0?
No. They do have like very beginner level, so
Oh,
even if you cannot speak in Japanese at all, like you can join right away.
How do they actually, help you find a job? Do they help you?
Yes, they do have. It depends on the school, but they do have like job finding sections. So, and they are of course English speakers.
That's nice.
Maybe.
Maybe.
So they can help you to find out a job at there,
Mm.
like during your stay or before you graduate.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I guess after you like attended the school and explored a bit, you can
Yeah.
know a bit more about what job to actually go for.
And of course, Tokyo has the best opportunities to look for a job because there are so many companies, so many different types of companies. If you want an English teaching job, like you don't have to be fluent in Japanese, but if you want to work at a Japanese company, and maybe you might need N1 or N2 level of Japanese skills.
Ouch.
And I'm Japanese, but I'm not sure I can pass N1 or N2, so
My God, is it that bad?
that bad. Good luck.
And I also think that the easier option is to first come to a Japanese language school because first you'll actually learn the language, it's easy, and second they will help you with it. And I think the general visa process is easier because switching from a student visa to work one is easier than actually getting the work visa for the first time. So definitely a better option, right?
Right, exactly.
Yeah. So that's how to find a job in Japan. So the next topic is life in Serbia and life in Japan. The differences, the similarities. And first I want to tell you about the kind of cool stuff in Japan. It's different from Serbia. And then about the kind of, weird stuff I didn't really expect. So let's start with the cool stuff. So first one, regarding the workplace, what I found interesting. So I worked in a private language center and I worked in a public school. Right now I'm working there. And it's not very different. It's kids, you teach kids. It's cool, it's cute. The difference is that the hierarchy is very different. Like, you are really expected to show a lot of respect towards those higher than you. And that I noticed that the Senpai and the Kouhai relationship is kind of a big deal, so... Your turn.
What were you talking about?
Anyways, that was off topic. Anyways, I personally haven't experienced the like senpai kohai thing because teachers have a slightly different workplace, but I also know it's a very big deal. So yeah, the next thing about Japan that's really cool is it's very convenient. It's the most convenient country to live in, and you've probably heard about this, but there are convenience stores everywhere. They're called konbini, right? And they're cool because they're so convenient that you can pretty much live there. They have, most people decide, not to actually cook food, but to buy there already made, like as a meal. They can even heat it up for you at the convenience store. Like my personal favorite is, usually I go for the convenience store ramen. What do you go for?
I go for lunchbox.
Another cool thing that you can do there is like if you need a copy, you do not go copy or scan. You do not go into a stationery shop. You just go to the nearby convenience store and do it yourself. And the coolest thing about it is, so guys, if your change is 1 yen, 2 yen, 3 yen, it doesn't matter what a tiny insignificant amount, you are getting your change back. Yeah.
Isn't that normal?
No.
No?
No, that's not normal. Not overseas, I guess.
That supplies.
Right? I mean, come on. How many times did you go to supermarket in Serbia and were offered a gum instead of your change? Like, I cannot count the time.
Oh, that's also
You
nice.
get a gum. You get a gum.
That's also nice.
It's not a very good gum. It's not very... it's not like you get Orbit. You just get a very crappy. Yeah. So regarding the convenience of Japan, there are also vending machines everywhere. And this is a vending machine thingy.
Yeah.
You can buy mostly drinks, and also there are vending machines that sell meals and what else? Beer
And the rice.
Rice, really?
Yeah,
Yeah, they do have them. And really regarding drinks, and there are so many different like drinks I've never seen anywhere else. Like this thing is actually jelly, and it's really cool. There are so many different drinks, and there is so much different food. So there's a lot of Western food if you really can go for Japanese. But I personally haven't tried anything except umeboshi. How do you say umeboshi in English? No. But I literally, that's the only food I didn't like because it's very sour. But all the Japanese food I've tried so far has been more than delicious. So don't be scared. Go for it. Like, go for any weird food you see in the convenience store. Just grab it and it's yummy, probably. This is gonna be a bit weird, but honestly, the toilets in Japan are very different to the toilets in Serbia. No, it's for real. Like, when I actually came here, went to the airport, and went into the toilet, it was like, what button am I supposed to press? What does this one do? What is it? It's kind of like how random, should I touch anything? They really look like space toilets, don't they?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I often press the wrong button and it hit a different spot.
Happened to me too.
That hurts.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The most awkward thing that happened to me was I could not find the flush button. Because sometimes it's on the wall next to you, sometimes it's like here,
Yeah.
sometimes it's on the actual toilet. It's kind of difficult to figure.
So many options.
Sometimes you kind of, just like Darth Vader, you just put your hand and it just flushes. So it's kind of, yeah, that's the tough part. So regarding that, like Japan is really incredibly clean.
Yeah.
That's another difference that I found kind of cool here. So Japan separates garbage, unlike Serbia. It's every town is different.
Every town is different. I've been moving in so many places, but every prefecture has different way to separate the garbage.
Yeah. So once you actually move into an apartment, you should be given like a guide on how to separate your trash. Yeah. And finally, the fun part. Japan is paradise if you're a fan of manga. It's paradise. So the best way to like indulge into the life of anime and manga and to buy, if you want to buy a lot of stuff, you should go to Book Off. Yeah. So they usually sell used stuff, but this is Japan, so used stuff doesn't even look used. And you can buy really, really cheap stuff. Like, I remember buying 24 manga. It was, I think, this one.
And like...
How much was it?
It was actually 2,000 yen.
Yeah. So that's basically less than 100 yen per manga. Yen's about the same as Serbian currency, so you calculate. Usually manga here, that's also cool. Manga's really cheap, like between 400 and 400 yen, and a bit higher, but Book Off, you can find it for 100 yen, which is really cool. Yeah. And, what else can you find in Book Off? Just about anything.
Just about anything, like used instruments, used clothes, used shoes, which I don't want to wear.
like anime,
like action figure, like those kind of like anime.
This one was actually from Animate. Yeah. Animate is another really cool store, but this one is more expensive because it's not used stuff. But they have like all the anime goodies you could possibly wish for. And the coolest thing of all is Jump World.
Jump World.
Yeah, I cannot express how much I want to go. I still haven't been there. Basically, Jump World is like Disneyland for anime fans. Yeah. I'm a big fan of Jump comics. Pretty much every comic, every manga I've ever read has been Jump, I think. And it literally has so many cool things. There are people obviously cosplaying, dressed up as characters, but what do you think is the coolest thing about Jump World?
Coolest thing? Actually, I've never been there before, but you can actually shoot the Kamehameha.
I want to do that.
Go like this.
I really want to try
in the 3D.
Yeah. And I think you can also like search for Dragon Balls, radar and everything. Like sort of like a game room. It's really cool. And again, any Jump manga you can think of, they probably have some kind of a section dedicated to it.
From here, I'm gonna talk about tips about living in Japan, and it's about making friends, making Japanese friends. I think it is the best, like, fastest way to be fluent in Japanese, like talking with actual Japanese people. and you right away become fluent. But making Japanese friend is the hardest part. It's really difficult because basically, like, we are very shy. Like, we don't speak English. If someone talks to us in English, we are like, ooh, ooh, ooh. Or we go like this. Yeah. So I'm going to tell you about some tips, like how you can overcome those obstacles and make a Japanese friend. Right. So the first is use application to make a friend. Yeah. So we are not good at like face-to-face communication because we are shy and we really hate to making some mistakes when we are speaking in English. So basically, if you can use some language applications such as like Langmate, basically Japanese people want to learn English, and you want to learn If you want to learn Japanese, it's like fair trade. You can teach them English, and they can teach you Japanese and become friends. That's the good way.
Would you say that like Japanese people are a bit more comfortable speaking online first?
That's exactly, yeah.
Yeah, true.
And the next thing is go to meetup events. Probably you guys know, like, there's the application called Meetup, and also they have a website. It's basically has a function that some people will open the event and at a certain time, and you will join it. And
is there like almost every town has a
almost every town has an event, and of course there's the like language exchange event or culture exchange event. There are so many people, like so many Japanese people who want to be with the foreigners. So yeah, like after you come here, maybe after your school or after your job, like you can join to those events and become friends with Japanese people. That's also the option.
What kind of besides Langmate and Meetup, like once you actually make friends, how would you recommend staying in contact? What are the best apps to use?
That's the next point. Use the application which Japanese people use. We basically use the application called Line. Not a lion.
It's a lie.
It's actually like Viber or...
it looks the same as WhatsApp, actually. It's
Yeah,
even
WhatsApp.
green. Like, it's pretty much the same.
They have like text function, free call function.
And no one really asks you about your phone number, I suppose. They just ask you for your line.
Right.
Yeah.
So, I think you should download that application at first.
Generally, people don't... Facebook is, so in fashion, not really. Instagram is big.
Instagram is pretty big. And Twitter. Yeah.
And I mean, I personally don't use it, but I know lots of younger people, let's say like, between 15 and 20-something, they usually use TikTok. So,
yeah.
Depending on your age group, the apps are different. And I guess, again, my tip, once more, I think I said this like 20 times, but one more time, my tip is learn Japanese. Even when you're just in Serbia, do your best to learn basic Japanese and not just speaking, but do your best to learn hiragana, katakana, and kanji because, again, very few things here are written in English. It's happened to me maybe only 2 times in my whole stay here that I've seen restaurant menu that has English option. Usually everything is in Japanese, and you kind of don't want to be embarrassed in front of your friends. Like when you finally make those Japanese friends and you go karaoke and you're kind of like, it's a bit embarrassing. So do your best to learn, the basic stuff. And how to do it? Well, I personally had an online tutor who was Japanese, and she helped me out a lot. But I did a lot of my own study as well. I used YouTube, and on YouTube, when I was just a beginner, I was following Japanese Amon no Misa channel, and now that my level is higher, I'm following Nihongo no Mori. They're the best YouTube channels. And the best Instagram account you can follow is SpeaksJP. So basically, that's the only account I've ever run into that teaches you like actual Japanese that people speak in real life. So, you know, usually textbooks, they don't teach you real Japanese. They teach you the basics, but they don't teach you the way people talk. Anime, obviously, is you know, it's good to listen to it, but that's not how people talk. So Speaks is pretty much the only account I found that actually, you know, teaches you real, natural Japanese. And there's a lot of funny stuff there, so I really recommend it. And yeah, I think that's. I'm sorry, this one's becoming paper plane too. I guess that would be about it from us. I think. Thank you so much for watching this extremely awkward, random stuff about Japan kind of video. Yeah, I hope you enjoyed at least a little bit of it.
Yeah.
Yeah. You have something to say for the end?
Well, like if you want to come to Japan, like whether for holidays or when living here, like please don't be scared and be persistent.
Be persistent. And he's right though, yeah. If you want to
I'm sorry, I'm just taking a look at this paper.
It's fine.
Well, guys, nothing is impossible. Like, don't be afraid. And
just like Tom Cruise's mission.
Yeah, Tom Cruise.
Not,
just like Tom Cruise. Tom Cruise is not Japanese.
It's not. But yeah, really, like, don't give up. You have to apply for many companies and many things and fail many times before actually coming here.
Yeah.
And when you do, yeah, enjoy yourself. Don't be scared. Yeah, just have fun. Talk to people. Date. You know, do the cool stuff young people do, right? And old people too. Sorry, guys. Again, thank you. Thank you so much for watching.
Thank you so much for your time. Appreciate it.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.